despite what their moms told them. They just aren't talented enough for radio. Unfortunately, anyone can have a show these days. Sean.
Well, I'm pretty hard to figure out sometimes. In fact, I can't even figure myself out sometimes, so don't you try to.
Joe.
You're an idiot and really a disloyal person.
This is the Cuse Militia. Now, those two unapologetically biased orange-blooded homers, Sean and Joe.
It's the most bullshit thing I've seen in 30 years.
Welcome, orange men and ladies. Happy Saturday. This is a special edition of the Cuse Militia with Sean and Joe at Cuse Militia on the socials. Go there, join the militia. We decided to do a little immediate post-game reaction for Armchair Media. It was on the Locker Room app. If you're not there, you can check it out. We will probably do one at the end of the game tomorrow against West Virginia. So this is immediate post-game reaction. We didn't know who we were playing yet. There's no post-game. It's just a little bonus episode that I'm glad I recorded because there's some pretty good stuff in there, and I want you all to enjoy it. So we will be back later as well with the regular show that we do with the Coach Montage Breakdown and fan feedback and obviously the West Virginia preview. But first, as always, you know that BetOnline is the title sponsor for Armchair Media and the Cuse Militia. So they're the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your sports action. NBA is in full swing. You've got the NCAA and the NIT tournaments going on for college basketball. If you missed the $100,000 bracket madness, you can still get in on those games individually or the props that are tied to those. BetOnline has you covered for all news, scores, and odds. It's the best way to place your bets, and it's free to sign up. Head over to the website or use your mobile device today to sign up and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use the promo code ARMCHAIR. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. Thank you, BetOnline. eBay.com/sneakers. From rare dead stock to the latest release, you can find the exact sneaker you're looking for on eBay as the original sneaker marketplace. eBay is the place to go to cop the pair you've been eyeing. In partnership with eBay, Armchair Media will be raffling off 4 custom-made sneakers. Each purchase you make before March 31st through ebay.com/sneakers will enter you into a drawing to win a pair of Air Force One low tops. Just send a screenshot of your purchase to @ArmchairMedia on Twitter or Instagram to enter yourself into that. So, all right, immediate post-game reaction from Joe and I last night. Remember, just keep in mind, it was late, as the time was late, and also Joe was late. So, I pretty much talked my mouth drier than dry, waiting for Joe to come on. So, enjoy it. Here it is. We are doing a little post game for Syracuse, San Diego State. Win for Syracuse, moving on 78-62 over San Diego State. And what a performance by Buddy Boeheim. The Buddy Boeheim show. One shy short of tying his all-time scoring record for one game with 30 and 70% from behind the arc. 7 for 10, and just an amazing performance by him. He was lights out, 11 for 15 from the field, and it just doesn't get much better than that. I mean, when you look at San Diego State coming into this game, and you've got Shackle shooting 47% from behind the arc out of 160 something, and they were awful. They were awful from behind the arc. They hit a bunch late, 5 for 13 with Shackle, and with 17 points, and he tied Mitchell for his team high there. And those are the two guys that Syracuse needed to look out for. And Syracuse did a good job, especially in the first half, obviously, holding them to around 30 points. And you take a look at getting to the free throw line. San Diego State did not do a good job. It was a physical game. I feel like the calls, you can make some arguments on both sides of all of that stuff. Syracuse, 11 for 13, 85%. And, San Diego State, 3 for 7. If you're going to get to the line only 7 times, you need to make the most out of that. But enough can't be said for what Buddy Boeheim has done for this team coming down the stretch. I don't think Syracuse makes the tournament without Buddy Boeheim's performance in the last 3 games, especially going into the ACC tournament and just playing lights out, throwing up 28 one game and 31 against UVA, losing at the buzzer there. You don't make the tournament without Buddy Boeheim. And Syracuse just flipped a switch towards the end of the year where they said, you know what, it's go time, and we're going to do this. And they did it. And so far, it looks great. Now, obviously, a tough game ahead of them, and I'm not even going to talk about that right now, but this San Diego State game worried me a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I mean, you got a team that has won 14 in a row. I mean, they were hot. Obviously, when you win 14 in a row, you know, there's a good chance you're going to lose. You need to lose. And Syracuse just, I mean, in the beginning of the game, this was something that was just defensive. I guess this score to be, I think I still have it here. I guess it to be in the 60s. I thought this was going to be a very defensive game. I thought they were going to shut Buddy out. When you got a guy coming into a game, okay, and UVA didn't do this either. So I don't blame San Diego State, but you got a guy coming into a game that is shooting what Buddy is shooting. I mean, this dude is unconscious right now, and we've heard it all too from the fans, and we've heard it from the haters and the hater fans that Buddy Boeheim, this is the coach's son. Why is he getting all these minutes? I mean, nepotism. And we look at what this kid has done this year, and you gotta say, man, like, he shook all that off. You don't think these kids see what's on Twitter? You don't think they see what's on social media? This kid shook it all off and just comes out swinging every game. And Buddy is not making easy shots. I hate to make this post game all about Buddy, but he made it all about Buddy. Buddy made it all about Buddy. And for him to come out swinging the way he does and the way he did in this game, they are not giving him much room. They are guarding him pretty good. It's not a ton of open stuff. And he's just knocking it down. He's knocking it down. So how do you stop that? I mean, you don't. You don't. This dude had permagrin, okay? Permagrin. Buddy Boeheim with the permagrin. And when you look at his performance tonight, even when he got 2 fouls early, about 3/4 of the way through the first half, and he had to sit. So in comes Joe Girard. Well, Joe Girard was actually pretty good when Buddy had to sit, and he scored. Well, I mean, he had 10 points at the half, but he didn't have much before Buddy sat. Hit a couple threes. Made some moves. Also, I will just add that Girard with 6 rebounds and 7 assists. So, for the Girard haters out there who think that, he's awful and he takes some bad shots, I mean, you have an argument, okay? We've all seen the bad shots that Joe Girard has taken, and, you know when they're coming. I feel like you can watch a game and see Joe Girard, and when he's ready to throw something up, you know that, he shouldn't. But Joe this year, he's been a pretty good facilitator. He's done a decent job of rebounding. Joe's problem sometimes, I think earlier in the year, was that he would let some of his bad offense control some of his defense. And he would let that get in his head, and he wouldn't even really play good defense. And it just, and then, you got Kadari Richmond waiting in the wings, and Kadari Richmond battling a knee injury right now. And obviously, when he's out on the court, you don't see much of it, but I do think he's limited. By the way, just for the hell of it, he scored 8 points, 2 for 2 from 3, which is not his game. And, you look at a guy like Kadari Richmond to come up with a couple of threes in this game. I mean, that's not in the game plan, right? So Kadari's going to drive to the rim. He's either going to try to get fouled, or he's going to make some great move as an excellent ball handler and try to make the most of it. But one time, at least, with the buzzer running down on him and just smoking it, great. And then, you know what? I think it was 2 times with the buzzer running down, in fact. And the second one was about three quarters the way to half court, and he was well guarded and just rose above and nailed it. So one disappointment for me was Quincy Guerrier. And, 3 points, 4 rebounds, just a terrible game. I mean, when you come into play games inside the tournament, you have got to have your best players play their best games. Buddy did that. Quincy did not. And I don't know what sometimes is going on with Quincy or if there's anything going on, but sometimes he just looks off. And when he looks off, he stays off. And today was one of those days for Quincy. And you've got Dolajai, who just does an amazing job of trying to pick up the slack of everybody. He's been the one constant throughout the year who has just come in and done his thing, and he does the same things every game, does the things as Coach has said and as we have said throughout the year, that he does the things that don't make the stat sheet all the time. Dolajai with 11 points and 4 rebounds, 5 assists, but he does all the scrappy stuff. And it's almost like if Dolajai isn't hitting the wood, the game is not official. And Dolajai hit the wood, and he didn't. I'm not sure if he took a charge this game, but he definitely took a block to the wood. But Jesse Edwards too. Man, he had a block, a killer block, and 5 rebounds, which is excellent, and 2 points. Whatever. That's fine. I think this was a good game for Jesse to put him in while Guerrier was struggling. And, I mean, when you talk about a struggle, if anyone struggled at all, Alan Griffin. I mean, the bright lights are shining, buddy. And you want to go from Dolajai to being one of the most consistent players this year, doing the things that he always does, to a guy who just like you never know what you're going to get, like a box of chocolates with Forrest Gump, and that is Alan Griffin. And it just seems flat lately. You see him go to the sidelines, and he does get lectured a little bit by Coach, and sometimes I don't know if he's rolling his eyes at it or if he's really trying to improve, but just not good. Just not good. And we said coming into this game that they were going to have these guys play as a team, especially the starting 5. Obviously, you got Richmond, the 6th man, the best 6th man probably that we've had in a minute, okay? And you've got all these guys that need to play a game like they played against NC State, where every single one of them in the KenPom rankings was over 100 in their offensive ranking, or their offensive rating. And they did play like a team, and they did a fantastic job. I don't know the KenPom rankings right now, but I will say that this was pretty much the buddy show. Okay? And everybody did chip in a little bit. Guerrier, he did have a couple moments, but I wouldn't say this was an all-in-all team win. And you're going to need that, especially if we have to play West Virginia in the next game. That's going to be a huge uphill battle. Now, I thought this game could have been a battle with the way that Mitchell and Shackle were chucking up threes, and they just didn't have a plan down low. So, I don't know what the points in the paint were, but I just wasn't impressed just with the inside game in general with them. And once we got to halftime, I just figured, this was probably going to be one from outside. And could Syracuse stay hot? We've seen them go into halftime with big leads before and come out and either blow them or either blow the lead or just make it a cardiac Cuse game. So, halftime, you got 20 minutes left, right? So, obviously, you guys can do math. And you feel comfortable with a 16-point lead at halftime or 14-point lead at halftime. But, coming into the second half, and we saw Dolezaj coming out of the half and immediately scoring, which was fantastic. We never like to see them fall flat because when Syracuse does fall flat, they tend to wear it on their sleeve. If they get a little, if San Diego State were to come out and come out with a little bit of run, then, that's going to show in Syracuse, and they don't hide it at all. You can watch the air just get deflated out of the balloon in Syracuse, and that's one of their biggest problems, I think, is when you get a lead like that and you lose it. I mean, Pitt earlier this year, that was a big one. Without that Pitt loss earlier this year, I feel like we're not sweating it out as bad coming into this game. But a big win for Syracuse, an 11 beating a 6. Let's bring Joe on. Let's do that. We'll be right back. Before we do such things, as always, we're going to hear from BetOnline one more time. We're going to hear from ebay.com/sneakers as well. The fastest and easiest way to bet on all your sports action, that's BetOnline. Go there. College basketball March Madness is heating up. It's in full swing. They've got all of your March Madness stuff there. Go there. Now, if you did miss the $100,000 Bracket Madness contest at BetOnline, you can still get in on all of the other action there having to do with March Madness. So head over there. BetOnline, they got you covered on all the news, scores, and odds. It's the best way to place your bets, and it's free to sign up. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus by using the promo code ARMCHAIR. That's a 50% welcome bonus. Just use the promo code ARMCHAIR. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. Look, ebay.com/sneakers. Go there today. From rare dead stock to the latest release, you can find the exact sneaker you're looking for on eBay. As the original sneaker marketplace, eBay is the place to go to cop the pair you've been eyeing. In partnership with eBay, Armchair Media will be raffling off 4 custom-made sneakers. Each purchase you make before March 31st through ebay.com/sneakers will enter you into a drawing to win a pair of Air Force One low tops. Just send a screenshot of your purchase to Armchair Media, at Armchair Media on Twitter or Instagram. You're welcome. That's how you enter. Very simple. All right, back at it. All right, damn, I've been talking my mouth dry. What's your thoughts, man? Coming into this game, as we talked about, worried about San Diego State's shooting and how good they were. Well, guess what? They stunk. Okay, and in this game, they were freaking terrible. Yeah, they were pretty bad. What do you mean, no? 11 for 40 from 3? That's terrible. Come on. And, I mean, you got a guy shooting. You got 2 guys with significant numbers shooting over 40%. One of them shooting 47% from 3, who was just not that good. But Ty, and the 2 guys, by the way, that I'm talking about are Jordan Shackle and Mitchell, and they both were team high 17 points for them.
Right. Yeah.
So,
but they shot a bunch, right?
They shot a ton.
Yeah. And realistically, this is like kind of a case of a team where they ran into our 2-3 zone and we lulled them into shooting threes. And even though they were missing them, they continued to still shoot threes. And I mean, I don't know what to say about that, because if I was the coach, I would be blue in the face about telling them to try to do something different. And Mitchell definitely did something a little bit different in the second half. He had a bunch of points, made some strong moves in the paint, but it was too late at that point. So, yeah, it was not what I expected. Wasn't the game I expected, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, me either.
Pleasantly surprised, though.
pleasantly surprised. But when you start a game, I don't know, but I wish I did. Now, knowing what I know now, I wish I would have known now what I would have known then. Is that how slow the game started offensively? And how just, brick after brick after brick. And you're thinking to yourself, at one point, I think it was like 5 minutes and San Diego State hadn't scored a lick. And it was 18-25. Right? And you're thinking, man, 5 minutes. And we missed so many shots. We should be up by 15 right now. And you're like, this could be one of those things to look back to and be like, that could have been the dagger. That could have been the one thing that was like, the missed opportunities. Well, there wasn't really any missed opportunities. At the end of the day, there really wasn't. Because
but in the beginning, it was definitely like, okay, it was kind of two teams that were trying to feel each other out and figure out who was the better team. And I think Buddy broke their soul, man.
Dude, again.
He had 16 of the first 19 points. And we were up, I think at some point we were down, 14-18. And the halftime score was 32-18.
Yeah. 18 points in the first half. When was the last time Syracuse held a team to under 20 in the first half? I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. Against a team that
MVP is the defense. The whole team.
Oh, absolutely.
The whole team's defensive effort is 100%.
And think about this, Joe. 78 points on a team that was in Ken Palm ranked 11th in offense or defensive efficiency, in 9th in scoring. They held teams to 61 points a game. Syracuse with 78. And how many of those shots, Joe, that were just last-second shots? Both of Kadari's threes were at the buzzer.
That's stupid.
So sometimes there's luck involved. Is that fair to say? There's a little...
And Buddy's little turnaround, like three-quarter
Oh, yeah. Shot. Yeah, absolutely. At the buzzer again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buddy.
Dude.
Nepotism.
Nepotism. Exactly. Why does he get so many minutes? Because he's the coach's son.
What did I text you? I said,
dude. Like, yeah. That's pretty much what you said.
He broke them. They were on him like white on rice in the first half, and he just hit everything.
He wasn't like he was open.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah.
He was hitting
everything. He could not miss.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a corner three kind of late in the second half when Syracuse was just nailing them. It was like even my vision got blurry. I'm like, holy hell, what the frick is going on? And he missed one, but dude, it was so close to falling. It was so close to falling. And Joe, and I mentioned earlier, I want to get your thoughts about Joe stepping up when Buddy was out with 2 fouls. And Joe steps up and he scores, he hits a couple threes.
Yeah.
And he does some things defensively as well. And he had 10 points.
A lot of rebounds.
Yeah, he had a lot of rebounds. And he had 10 at the half. He had 6 rebounds, 7 assists. He had 10 at the half. Only ended up with 12. But, for all of the criticism that Joe Girard has gotten throughout the year, I think that this was a pretty good game for him. If you want to point to someone, as I said earlier, and I want to get your thoughts, Alan Griffin, dude. Like, what does this man have to do to just contribute? I'm honestly...
It's all matchups, man. I think we know what the starting lineup's going to be, and I think it's a situation where we know that, okay, offensively, you keep Girard in, you keep Allen in as the starters, and if they're hitting, then what are you going to do, right? You'll take that offense versus that defense, But if they're not hitting, then you want to bring Braswell in instead of Griffin, and you want to bring Kadari instead of Joe because they offer better defense, a longer 2-3 zone, but they still offer some semblance of an offense, right? I mean, Braswell can still hit the open jumper, and Kadari can do his thing driving to the hoop. So I think it's basically just that. Like, he didn't have a good game, wasn't a great matchup. I think we talked about it. I think I kind of called that. Like, didn't think it was going to be a great matchup for Allen. Thought Quincy was probably going to do a little bit more, but I'm
a little disappointed. I'm a little disappointed in Quincy, man. He should have taken advantage of being able to kind of work himself down low. And we talk about Quincy, going ahead and possibly going into the draft or this or that or whatever. But Quincy, man, I mean, look, when he's really good, he's really good. Mm-hmm. But when he's off, bro, he's off. He's 3 points. He's 3 points and 4 rebounds. Okay? This is as off as he gets.
And then it was okay tonight because Buddy.
Yeah.
If you have a guy that comes out and puts up 30 and shoots the percentage that he shot, then you just need players, just little players on the side. Quincy making little shots here, Mark making little shots there, Joe making threes, Kadari hitting what he did. I mean, everybody contributed, and the whole thing was that the greatest thing about it was that everybody that was in the game, their defense, everybody played defense. And that was the whole thing. Rebounding defense, that's going to be the key because we know that we can score. We know we can score.
Right. And offense hasn't been an issue this year, really. I mean, the tough defenses, though, when you back to my point about the San Diego State defense, we've struggled with those. The Georgia Tech, okay, is one good one. The UVA game, the first UVA game, is another one. We've struggled with really good defense. So, you come into this game with a team that has really good defense, analytically for what they've done in the year and who they've played. But they also have a good offense, a really good offense. And senior-laden team. 4 of their 5 starters are seniors and the other one's a junior.
Yep.
So you look at that coming into this and you're like, man, this is going to be difficult. And then Buddy Boeheim.
Well, I mean, why didn't they bring it inside?
Well, they couldn't.
Why not? Why didn't they go to the free throw line or try to get some, backdoor cuts in the baseline,
they just
that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, they just relied on the 3 the whole game. They were relying on outside shooting. They thought eventually they'd get hot, I guess, and they did. But it was like 2 minutes left in the game.
But I thought that was in the repertoire. I mean, I thought we had fans from San Diego State that said they could do that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, there were San Diego State fans that said that they could do that, but they did not do that. And look,
I'm not a professional. I mean, I can only just guess, really. I mean, from what I see, but
this is as sarcastic as Joe gets, by the way. So
I'm just saying. I can only guess, right? So I can only give my opinions and think what I think is going to happen. And I mean, if somebody else knows better than me and they're a fan of the team, then just educate me.
The fans of the team, they must be way smarter than you. I would guess, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, educate me.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's on Twitter. You can go check that out. Joe.
Sir?
Jesse Edwards. He had a killer block. Okay, and in some really good plays. He was only credited with 5 rebounds, but I thought it was more, to be honest with you. But just a fantastic job, as we talked about. Quincy, a little bit of a struggle, and he filled in great. I felt like he filled in great for Quincy, and even Robert Braswell when there was issues with Quincy early. He went ahead and he filled in good too. 9 points for Robert. 2 for 4 from 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't understand it. I thought that Quincy would come into this matchup. I mean, with Mitchell, obviously Mitchell has some size and some strength, so understand it a little bit. But Quincy had a height advantage there, and he was just very timid and just kind of settled for the outside shots early, and it kind of just, it kind of was like, what are you doing, Quincy? Like, I thought that he was going to come out and he was going to have a lot more intensity, and he really didn't. And he kind of just settled for the shots, missed them, and definitely hurt us early in the game. Made it up a little bit in the second half, but I mean, I thought he had a mismatch, and he just
squandered it.
Didn't
a little
even
bit.
try to take advantage of it.
I mean, maybe.
Didn't even try. I mean,
yeah.
You know that guy's guarding you. You know that's their best player on their team. Like, bring him down low. Try to get him in foul trouble. Like, do something. You know, get to the free throw line. Just settle in for threes and just outside jumpers. He's giving you that. Like, it was just kind of. That was probably, if you're going to do the good, bad, ugly, the ugly of our team and situation would probably be that, because everything else was good. He played great defense. Everybody else kind of did their thing, played their part, and he still had good moments, but not what you expect from him.
Yeah, I agree. And
Sucks.
yeah, it does. It sucks, but I mean, you
I
said,
thought he was gonna work that dude.
I know.
I thought he was gonna work him, man. Just post him up.
I know, but
Get to the line,
listen,
make some free.
Yeah, we'll get to the line. I mean, there wasn't. They let him play today. They've been letting them play actually through the whole tournament. They've really been letting them play so far, as I can see.
Sure.
I mean, you're right. I mean, they've been pretty loose with the whistles. So, in my opinion, just throughout the whole thing. So, real quick to finish this up. Obviously, we don't know who we're playing, but if you had to guess, it'd be West Virginia. And just for the hell of it, real quick, and we'll do a formal one here, but tomorrow on the actual podcast. But how do you see that, Joe? That put you on the spot?
Well, as far as next game?
Yeah, as far as, you got to assume we're going to play West Virginia, right?
Well, right now they're up 12, right? So,
right.
Barring, a miracle, we're going to be playing West Virginia. So, like I said, it's going to be tough. Huggins was in there when we were in the Big East, and he knows what the 2-3 zone's all about. So, I guess we shall see, but dude, it is what it is. It's a ride.
It is what it is, yeah.
Not even 2 weeks ago, we didn't even know if we were going to get in, or if we were, everybody was talking about how, bubble talk, are they going to get in? And now we're in, and we did what we did, and you can't not be excited about how we've been playing. Right.
Yeah, we've been playing the best basketball we've played the entire year, and it just happened to be almost the flip of a switch. Right at the right time.
What was our text message, right? I was like, dude.
And I was like, bro.
You're like, what am I watching? And I'm like, you're watching the best game we've played all year.
Yeah.
And it's just only kind of been getting better the past 5 games.
It's a little crazy. And we almost beat UVA. Yep. You know what happens if we beat UVA? We don't know. I'm always...
And we know, but we know the scoring we have. We know the defense we have.
Right.
And I don't know. Just a little scary, but fun.
A little scary, a little nerve-wracking.
Hey, dude. I'll tell you what, dude. 2 days ago, right? I was talking to my dad. And he listened to
Shout
our
out
podcast.
To Lance.
Yeah. Listen to our podcast, right? And when we gave our guesses of what the score was going to be.
What did he say? It's going to be 78-62
Dude,
Syracuse?
You know what he said?
What did he say?
He said 80-60 Syracuse wins.
Really?
Yep. 3 days ago. Are you kidding me?
That's crazy. Because
it was 78-62, and on top of that, it was 19-18, and he says something like, "Oh, I could still get my guess in." I'm like, "Dad, we're not scoring 80. We end up scoring 78."
Yeah.
God, dunce cap.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, they only allow 61 points a game.
Dude,
but here's the other thing. Here's
I laughed at him. I laughed at him when he said 80 to 60. I laughed at him. I said 68 to 63. I laughed at him.
Yeah, what did you have here? You had
68 to 63.
Yeah, that's what you had.
What my guess was.
Yeah.
This guy said 80 to 60.
I had 70 to 66.
62.
Yeah. Well, he wins. Winner.
Mm-hmm.
Lance. He gets it. So, yeah, it just goes to show the thing I was most skeptical about coming into this game was their strength of schedule. Now, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I don't know if Syracuse is that, should they be up, held up to up here more than their schedule or whatever, but who did they play? I mean, there wasn't like I mean, seriously, 14 wins in a row, but I mean, how do you gauge that out of the Mountain West?
Hard to gauge. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they lost.
And you don't really. It's hard to gauge as well, like the jump that Syracuse has taken as well.
Well, it's very hard, and the jump that Buddy Boeheim has made. I mean, like, let's be honest, Buddy. I mean, and I said it myself. I said, Buddy is a junior. What is he doing? I think were my exact words at some point. Like, he needs to play like a junior, and he's not. Right?
Dude, this is the guy at work that thinks that he's going to go pro after this year.
Oh, my brother-in-law texted me and said he's going to the NBA draft at the end of this year. I'm just like, no. No.
Dude, I mean, I don't want it to happen, but, like, let's be honest about the stats. Can we be honest about the stats?
Well, he's got to be shooting 50% in the last 5 games. I bet you it's close. He was shooting 44%. Yeah. He was shooting 44%.
Dude, he said he went 11 for 14 today for 30 points.
Oh, I'm talking just from 3. He's
got 89 points, and he's got 89 points in the last 3 games.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's a big deal.
Do you?
I do. It's a big. Yeah.
I mean, let's go, dude.
Where are we going, Joe?
Where are we going? Where are we going? You tell me.
Hopefully the Final Four.
Well, I mean, we're the most dangerous 11 seed I've seen.
I think that's a fair statement. Like this was a dangerous game for San Diego State, and I think there's a little bit to the fact that they may have underestimated Syracuse. Like, they were a little cocky coming into this game. I mean, I was all over their Twitter and this and that. They don't have a big man down low. Well, guess what? Neither do you.
Yeah.
You know,
play that great.
You know what I'm saying? So, and their fans were the most cocky I remember. I know it's been 2 years since look, the show's been around since 2016. And so this is our 5th basketball season, and I don't remember a fan base really trying to jab us or trolling our Twitter accounts. So they were feisty. They were more feisty than normal. So, which I love. But, I mean, that's why I don't talk a lot of either. Because it can get that you talk can get like thrown right back in your face. And that's really why I don't do too much of it. So, anyways, for Joe, I'm Sean. We're out.